How you live, how you live. How y'all doing out there? Y'all chime on in for another Wednesday night with the hams.
Yes.
Do that with this microphone real quick.
On hump day.
Someday, y'all. Y'all check us out. 8 p.m. every Wednesday night.
On hump day.
Oh, excuse me.
Oh.
Pardon me.
What you got going on?
It's open forum night tonight, y'all. Y'all chime on in. Wonder why we got that on. What you doing? You added that?
Yeah, that's something new.
Oh.
So the comments will be, we don't have to post the comments now. They'll post themselves.
Oh. How we gonna read them?
Let's just read them.
Oh. All right. Okay. How y'all doing out there? Y'all chime on in. Let me see who's coming in the building at least.
Oh boy. Oh, I'm tired. I'm tired, boss.
Yeah.
Yeah. How was your day today?
It's all right. I made it.
You made it?
Yeah.
That's it?
Yeah, I made it. It was all right. You know, same regular scheduled programming. Trying to see if they're going to have us off the weekend or not so I can do some things. But that's about it.
Cool.
Other than that, everything's been copacetic. I really ain't just start counting a lot of parts. That's about it. Bunch of parts.
It was a long, slow 8-hour day.
Yeah, sometimes in 8 hours be like this sometimes.
It was just weird. It was weird because we were like, we had work to do. It's just that we couldn't get to the stuff that we had to do.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, so it was like, all right, I just got to take that one little banner down as soon as all this shit around it gets moved. So it was like, I got to wait to just do little small stuff. So it was kind of slow, but it wasn't bad. I was just tired from the weekend still.
Oh, okay. Well, let me go ahead and pop this first video off since it's open forum. Let people come on in.
You ain't gonna introduce yourself?
Oh, yeah.
I'm
Sean Cheltenham. I'm one of the
straight to the video. And
usually you start. You know what I'm saying? Usually you do the duck thistle.
Yeah,
but I'm Sean Cheltenham and I'm one of the hams.
I am Treasure Cheltenham and I too am one of the hams. And this is the Ham Show.
This the Ham Show, y'all. Y'all tune in every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. with the hams.
On hump day.
On hump day. Y'all chop it up with us. Let us know what's cracking. Go ahead and send out a like. Tell your friends. Tell your mama. Tell somebody.
Send a subscription.
I shared the wrong page.
Oh, yeah, get out of there then. Get out of there.
Go ahead and share the right page.
What you got? You got some stuff you finna show us today?
I got something that it's just a little something. I mean, nothing special, but
it's open forum night, y'all. So we in here, we in this thing talking.
So this lady is in Florida.
Mm-hmm.
I guess she had too much of a good time and tried to get on her flight, and her flight said you can't fly tonight. And
because she had too much of a good time. That's a thing now.
Well, you gonna see.
Okay.
On December 15th, 2024, the Broward County Sheriff's Office was called to the scene at the airport for reports of a potential incident occurring at the airport. The following shows the body-worn camera footage of what happened during the incident.
Sweetheart, come here, let me talk to you.
This is the video.
Oh, police on the scene. They got their logo on the bottom left hand side.
Who's gonna assist me in traveling after?
First, what's going on? What happened?
I want to know what's going on. I had a flight for.
So pay attention to this lady's demeanor.
Okay.
I guess, pausing this, she looked kind of normal, but come check it out.
Okay.
Bradley Airport. I got a Bradley Airport ticket to Bradley Airport for Connecticut.
Yeah.
Well, for Miami to Bradley Airport for 10 something today, the 15th. I'm willing to travel that flight. Yeah, I've been drinking a little bit, but I still want to travel home.
Yeah.
I want to make it home.
Okay.
So what does that have to do with her travel, making me a flight?
But you got to understand, your delivery right now is kind of rough.
But it's not rough. I've been asking her nicely.
Listen.
Even before I spoke to her, I spoke to another
You're not letting
person.
me talk to you.
I am.
I understand that. Remember, end of the day, it's spirit.
Yeah, it
Spirit
is.
allows if they want you to fly or not. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You are
1, 2 drinks.
3 drinks
That's
you put
it.
it out of your finger right there.
But I'm not.
But
I'm not overreacting. I'm not being mean to her.
Listen.
But have I been mean to you?
Listen.
I've been very polite to you.
You're not listening to
I
me.
just want a flight.
You listen to me.
I understand what you're saying.
She says she being very polite and she just want a flight.
She busting out rhymes. She freestyling on them.
She been very polite and she just want a flight. That's all.
What I'm gonna do? You're gonna talk to her, and what their decision is their final decision. Okay.
Okay.
So
let me ask you a question. For the final decision, because I ain't stupid. Her final decision, she's gonna give me is she gonna give me a hotel room?
Listen, that's Spirit choice. I can't tell you that.
I can afford to spend money on Spirit, and they're not gonna give me a hotel room.
The thing is, they
to
can always
calm me down.
They can always refund you back.
Give me a hotel room to let me calm down.
You're not talking. You're not talking.
For tonight? So you would do that for me not to? I'm not fit to travel. Because even if she don't give me the hotel, no, but listen.
If she get a hotel room, yes or no? You're not getting a hotel room.
So what the fuck is I'm sitting here for?
All right, then. So she's just getting a flight for tomorrow, right?
But why can't I get a hotel room if I'm a little under the affluence?
Are you guys
But I'm just saying, if I'm.
So what do you think she should get a hotel room?
I think she should fly. I don't understand why she can't fly.
But I don't. They didn't show us the part. They only showing us the cops' camera.
Okay.
But
so there was an incident prior to him getting there.
Well, they got called for a reason. It wasn't like they just showed up, started talking to her. So
she said she was very polite to her, and I believe her.
But she just won't take no for an answer. This particular video. We're
Under the influence.
Are you done with it?
But if I'm under
the
influence,
negotiation skills when she's drunk is pretty cool. It's funny.
What you want to do, Candace, is your choice.
But if I'm under the influence, when you should be willing to give me a hotel room?
They're not going to give you a hotel room, Candace.
So what happens to sit down on the street?
You can stay in the airport and chill for
people lay over here on the seats all the time.
Yeah.
Y'all can't be fucking kidding me,
Candace,
but me spending my money on a hotel room to be spending the night on a fucking hotel floor.
Candace, no person.
Give me a hotel room. Why you can't give me a hotel? So if I'm not fit to travel, wouldn't you be nice enough to give me a hotel room? Why?
Candace, you're not getting a hotel room.
But I'm just saying, why wouldn't you give me a hotel room if I'm not fit to travel? Stop it, officer. Why would I be? If you know,
Stop it.
Yeah,
Stop it,
I
officer.
thought this was a kind of funny video, a good icebreaking video.
All right, whatever. I just don't understand how the fuck I spent my $200. But I'm just saying.
You would be better off putting her on the plane than leaving her in the airport after you done pissed her off and she's drunk and you're telling her she can't get on the flight because she's intoxicated.
The Spirit decided that they didn't want her to fly. So
maybe she got a drink. Some people got to get totally.
Yeah, but they usually do it on the plane while they you get on the plane first and then while out. You know what I'm saying? While it's in the air. Like she already intoxicated. Like
she was trying to get home.
Yeah.
She just want to go home, man.
Yeah, I understand. It looked like she want to go home.
That's crazy.
Damn. If I spend my $200 and something dollars.
And I agree, but
I'm just saying, if it was you
I agree.
She said
and you
she
spend
spent
your $200 and
$200
something dollars, they not giving. Mind your
And
business.
she's from the East
If
Coast.
I'm not giving you $200, officer.
Come sit down.
Officer.
If you give it, all right, I'm gonna report you.
All right, no worries.
If you're giving me the time to sit down and relax, and I know that I'm saucy,
That's why.
why wouldn't you give me the time to sit in a hotel?
He's not gonna have money. Call yourself an Uber. Call yourself an Uber. Get yourself a hotel.
I don't have the money.
Uber to where?
Exactly, but I'm telling you as an officer that I've been drinking and that I need to report myself to get an Uber.
And now I'm trying to help you and tell you what to do. All I'm gonna tell you to do, if you want to go ahead, there's a seats out there. Go sit down. Have a
I don't want to sit in the airport for 2-3 hours. I want to get home to my kids.
Well, you're
I
not
want to go home.
You're not gonna fly right
She
now.
gonna go home.
You're past, so you're not gonna fly.
I want to go home, officer.
Well, you're not gonna get home right
I
now.
want to go home. I already paid for the flight. I already paid for my fucking.
Candace. Candace.
No, being honest, officer. I already paid for the fucking clear ticket.
Candace, you messed up. You drank too much. You're intoxicated.
But officer, when you want me to go home?
Sit down and sober up.
So this
Later,
is
the woman
December
attempts to
15,
talk to customer
2024.
service again.
Being honest. I'm being honest with you.
See, this is what I'm saying. She's gonna keep going to the counter.
Can I get my money back?
You want your refund?
This is
You want a
stupid.
refund? When you want your refund, you're done with Spirit then.
Then I'd rather be done with Spirit then
All right,
because
let her get a
at the end of the day, she's
refund.
not giving me a refund. Being in the airport for 2 fucking days.
You get a refund. That's it. You're done.
No,
You're done
but
with Spirit.
literally, being in the airport for
You're
2
done with
days.
Spirit. We try to help you. You get a
No, you
refund.
better not help me being here for 2 days in the airport.
Let's go. You get a refund.
They
Like
want
literally
to
being
pay
here for 2
48
days
hours
in
to
the
get
airport.
another
Been in
flight.
the airport for 2 days.
You get a refund. You're done.
How? You helping me out? You making me sleep in the airport for 2 days? We sober up for 2 days? That's not sober enough for 2 days. I only need 24 hours to sober up.
She's
What I'm getting? Well, let me see. I need to see. I need to see. Yes, thank you. I need the paperwork.
All right, you're done.
No. No, I need the paperwork. Or I need the number.
Give her a confirmation number.
Thank you. Nobody a hard time.
Ma'am, you gotta go.
I'm not giving nobody a hard time.
You're done. Let's go.
Why are you being so hard on
Come
me?
on, let's go. It's either that or
All
you're
right,
gonna go to jail.
come on.
It's either that or you're gonna go to jail.
Why are you trying to sit with the jail when I'm trying to get a
Let's go.
fucking flight out of
We're
the
done.
house?
We're done. You gotta leave this airport.
Why do I have to leave?
So I guess more of the story is, you got to get intoxicated when you're on the plane. Like if you buying a booze, then it's okay. But if you pregame before you get on the plane, then you can't. You know what I'm saying?
I didn't got on a plane toe up like that.
Yeah,
before.
but was you talking to the lady? Like you just got on the plane, right?
I just got on the plane.
Like she had.
I was in line, quiet in the
She had a
mouth.
full blown drunk conversation with the clerk.
Yo, what is?
Yeah, she basically told on herself, and now she mad because they can't find a connecting flight until 48 hours for her to and then they won't pay for her to stay somewhere.
So, but my thing is,
What?
my thing is this, right? If the person is just trying to, 9 times out of 10, when you're intoxicated, once you get on the plane takes off. Right before the plane takes off, when you taxiing to go take off, you're probably going to go to sleep. And depending on how long this flight is, she'll be more sober when she lands. How about she's not being belligerent? She just drunk. Like, she just intoxicated. Let this woman go home. And this is crazy. Spirit need their ass whooped for that.
Yeah, I guess they they felt like
like is there a crime to be
I'm trying to get a flight.
Is either this or you're gonna go to jail.
Why are you doing this to me when I tell you I was trying to get a flight though?
policy to let you on
But
the
I'm
plane
being
drunk.
honest.
Like, you got drunk while you were
I'm willing to go.
Let's go.
But she hella
Let's
coherent.
get it on record before I walk out of the airport because I'm recording everything.
All right.
Now, why am I leaving the airport when I told you?
Let's go outside.
No, when I told you
All right, this is the last
that I was leaving the airport.
You're done. You're going to jail.
Now they gonna take her to jail.
But I told
That's
you I was in the
crazy.
airport. Why am I?
Yeah, now she going to jail.
If I told you I was in the airport. And you still put handcuffs on me for no reason.
This video is brought to you by Police on Scene, guys. Police on Scene is on YouTube. You guys want to see more videos like this? They did like a whole airline campaign.
Where is this at?
This is in Florida. She's trying to get back. It sounds like she's from the East Coast. But I don't know where she was trying to fly
Don't do that
to.
to me. Don't.
But this is in Florida somewhere.
Why are you taking her shit off? Like,
You can't have that when you go into the back of the car.
the scar?
Excuse
Yeah.
me. I told him I was
The
saucy from the airport.
She gonna hang
You
herself
know that I
naked?
was saucy.
You never know.
I'm
Remember
being
that
no,
dude
it
got
don't. What?
squad car a while back?
Well, give me
That's
free
because they
reign to
probably
what?
killed him.
Well, you never know that. I'm just saying, you know.
But I wasn't making problem. I was telling the lady that I was saucy and I wanted to get
I
hold of
was
my
saucy.
children. And she told me to wait a
I
minute.
was telling the lady I was
And he
Why
came
she
up on the
full of that?
scene.
Why she go
When
up
she
there and
told
say
me
I
to
was
wait
saucy. I'm trying to get home to my
for me to
kids.
call my kids. So he
I was
Uh,
saucy.
But yeah, that was that. That's a little
That's
icebreaker.
whack, man.
So
That's
so if
whack.
you're a little tipsy, to let you know, don't go in there and tell people you tipsy. Just kind of slide onto the plane
That's what I did.
and do what you need to do.
That's what I did. Listen,
Yeah.
I was leaving Puerto Rico.
Seriously, what do you congratulate?
That's Shannon
so-
Butler.
Congratulations for what?
I don't know.
Oh well,
What-
thank you.
What you congratulating us on? I don't know what the congratulations. I mean, thank you.
Yeah,
but
thank you.
what we congratulate. I was leaving Puerto Rico and I was saucy.
You were saucy.
I was saucy.
Saucy.
And I just I was saucy because I had a freaking 10-hour flight because I had to go from Puerto Rico to Jersey, I think, and then on the way home I had to go from Puerto Rico to Texas and then Texas here. So, I was saucy because I was engaging in saucy activities.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I was able to get on the plane with no problem, no whatever. So I'm just kind of like, why is y'all messing with this woman? Is she trying to get home? She just need a flight.
She want to go home to her kids.
She's been polite and she need a flight. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, she had a little rhyme for the lady, and then
Spirit on some bullshit for that one though. I don't agree with that one
Hey,
because
well,
I didn't. It would have been one thing if she was like super belligerent.
she
and
should have just slid on the plane and didn't say nothing. Just slid on there.
She was just letting the lady know I'm saucy.
She shouldn't have never said nothing at all. She should have just let it slide.
So I found out a couple of days ago that Southwest is now no longer 2 bags fly free and no longer open seating.
Oh yeah.
Say done went to the other side.
Southwest. How much they cost?
A lot now.
We might as well just fly Delta in there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because if now Southwest is saying you can't 2 bags don't fly for free and we charging for the seats and all this other shit, that's
two
crazy.
Bag, like 2 bag what? Like
2 bags fly, like 2 bags fly free.
Like a big bag?
Yeah, you know how you could check a bag and take a carry-on?
I always do carry-on.
You could check 2 bags and take a carry-on.
Oh, okay. I ain't know that.
Yeah, that's why we was doing it.
Oh. Well, I mean, everybody tightening up. You know what I'm saying?
Michael, what's up? Michael Force is in the building.
Everybody tighten up here. This was kind of sad.
Oh, we going from a funny one to a sad
Yeah,
video?
I kind of want to get it early that way. You know what I'm saying?
Y'all let us know what y'all think about that spirit thing though. Because
yeah, the spirit thing was wild.
If you tipsy and you just trying to, okay, she said she was saucy.
She was saucy.
But
she
if you saucy
tipsy.
and you just trying to go home, I mean, what's the problem?
She was saucy, not tipsy.
What they thought she was gonna do, run around the plane?
I don't know what they, she might have started twerking in the seats or something.
That's whack.
I
do not agree. Spirit,
you never know.
Spirit, you wasn't in the spirit.
They trying to tighten up their policies, I guess, so they can move up. They won the airplane of the year thing or whatever.
Ooh,
Spirit did.
The airplane what?
Whatever whatever awards the airplanes get.
Did they? The airline of the year?
Yeah, airline of the year.
Wow.
I don't know. I'm gonna look it up while they watching this video.
Yeah, let me know because I need to know how that happened.
You appalled?
I am because Now, granted, y'all, let me just say this. Let me just say this real quick. Spirit is better than they used to be because the planes that they used to have before were super, super tiny. I made the mistake of flying Spirit all the way to Boston one time, and that was like the biggest mistake ever because their seats didn't recline, but they have gotten better. So, I mean, I don't know about airline of the year. You know what I mean? I guess it was the airline of the year because everybody was like, "Oh, this shit is cheap. I'm flying."
I guess I'm searching for it right now.
Hey, listen.
Said yes.
If your
Spirit
flight
Airline was named best airline overall for 2025 by Wallet Hub.
The
ranking evaluated, and let me blow this up a little bit.
Wallet Hub is why, because people was like, for the price.
It says the ranking evaluated the 9 largest airlines, the U.S. airlines, and 2 regional carriers across 14 key metrics using 2024 data from U.S. Department of Transportation. Spirit secured top positions in safety and affordability, highlighting it's committed to providing value and seamless travel experience.
Okay, so I'm gonna give y'all what happened in layman's terms. Y'all ready? Spirit was by far the cheapest airline.
They the Greyhound of the industry, ain't they?
Yeah, they the cheapest airline. So yes, if you going somewhere where it's about 2 hours or less, definitely fly Spirit.
Yeah,
definitely, because you're gonna pay $12 for your seat and $85 for your luggage. So it's gonna kind of be the same.
So this next thing is kind of like a tragedy because
Jordan said if it's at the end of my shift and you come up here talking shit, your ass could go sit down until I'm off.
But you saucy.
She was just saucy. She tried to get on her kid.
Hey, so basically here in Las Vegas, at the LVAC Athletic Club, where you go work out, man walks in, has an issue with somebody in there for not giving him a guest or day pass or whatever.
Okay.
He gets mad, walks back to the car, gets his AR.
AR? Why you have an AR in the car?
Well, he rolls with it. Well, he don't roll no more. The cops. Well, we'll see. So he walks in, has an argument. The manager comes out, tells him, "Hey, man, you can't. Whatever. You know how
right.
He did the managerial stuff. He shoots and kills the manager. Manager was 30-something years old. Took care of his mother. His mother was all he had. Now he's gone, and his mother don't have nobody to help. Do what she.
That's crazy.
LVAC opened up. If you're interested and you want to donate to this person to help him, get buried and all the rest of that stuff. He started with LVAC when he was 19 years old.
Wow.
So he was basically running that particular facility.
So he'd been there since that whole time?
I guess he's been with LVAC since he was a kid.
20-something years?
Yeah. So
or 10 years, 11, 20, something like that.
Yeah. Your math is a little off.
It's like mathing a little bit.
So yeah, he died and he was unalive. You can't say. Oh my God, this internet stuff. I'm about to take a break from this stuff. But here's the video, y'all.
Unalive.
Yeah, he got unalive.
Breaking news alert. Breaking news here at 4 o'clock. One person killed, the shooter also dead in a shooting inside a Las Vegas athletic club gym in the Northwest Valley. Reports of shots fired came around 1:30 p.m. We're looking live with you at the scene right now. Police also say several people in that gym are injured. It is at the location on Rainbow between Vegas Drive and Lake Mead Boulevard, and traffic surrounding the area cut off at this time.
Friday.
Thanks for joining us. I'm Vanessa Murphy.
And I'm Brian Loftus, 8 News Now, with team coverage on this, working to learn the severity of this shooting.
8 News Now reporter Joshua Peguero is live near the scene talking to people at the gym. James Schaefer at UMC, where some victims may have been taken. But first, we turn to Joshua with what we know so far and what a witness told you, Joshua.
Brian, Vanessa, Metro Police Department had a press conference about a half an hour ago where they confirmed the shooter died at a hospital. Police engaged with the shooter at the gym, and he was sent to the hospital where he died. Metro also telling us that one person died at the gym. Now, there's several witnesses that we spoke with here who describe a chaotic scene. We're going to pan out and show you the sea of police cars that are still here. We don't know when this scene is going to clear, but Metro says officers responded at around 1:30 this afternoon to a shooting at the Las Vegas Athletic Club near Rainbow and Vegas. Officers, as I mentioned earlier, did engage with the shooter, and we're aware that there are victims being treated at the hospital. Some people told me they took cover when they heard the shooting, while others, like the man I spoke with, immediately ran out the gym. We were in the second floor of the gym. Honestly, we don't know if it was downstairs or on the second floor. Everything was so fast. Now, Metro did not take questions during this initial press conference, but they plan to speak again later to give more information. Again, Metro confirming the shooter died at the hospital and one person died at the gym. Reporting live near Rainbow in Vegas, Joshua Peguero, 8 News Now.
Thank you, Joshua. We continue our team coverage with Sasha Loftus, also right there at the scene.
Sasha, some very scary moments for those gym members, especially the ones who are inside working out.
Yes, and
Yeah, so the basically the young kid, according to Benny Jackson, said he was shot 6 times in his back, and he also bought his house in 2015 for him and his mother. And
so the dude was just doing his job.
he was doing what he's supposed
following
to.
policy.
Right.
The dude got pissed off.
Yeah, got belligerent. I would show the video where he walks in with the AR and does his thing because it's on tape, but it'll get our thing taken down. So there is a video out there from the news. They show the assailant walk in, get upset, walk out, come back in with the AR, walk by this one guy. One guy looked at him and just kept walking out of the building, and then he was the first one to call the 911. Yeah, the 911 call was from that guy who actually saw him walk in with the AR. And then after that, he was on the phone with the police, and you could hear the shots while he was on the phone with the police on the 911 call.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Like I just started going back to the gym about a month ago. So it's like to hear something like this is like, wow, people trying to, get healthy and better themselves in their lives. This young dude he was doing what he was supposed to do, taking care of his mom, being a model son, the things that parents just ask for. And he was doing that, and this is crazy.
Being said, one lady was on her phone at the door, not even paying attention. Wow, people got to be aware, man. Get your face out of these phones.
You not see somebody walk in with
a long
AR-15, dude, like in broad daylight at 4:00. Like, dude, I'm gonna be like,
keep your face out of these phones when you in public. Man.
When I went to the gym yesterday, they had a sign on the door that says no firearms allowed.
Well, yeah, every gym's gonna have it now. Every gym gonna post that now.
I'm gonna tell you this. I'm gonna have mine just in case I need to fire back.
Well, man, good luck. I'm gonna do my push-ups at the crib.
Nah, I'm not. I'm going to the gym.
No disrespect, but yeah, man. I mean, come on, man. People, just a small disagreement as a pass just to get in. Like, go shoot yourself, man.
And I mean,
don't take nobody else's life. Go in the desert. And
so
do
how
what
did
you need to do.
How did the dude die? Did the police kill him?
Yeah, the police shot him. He got moved to UMC and died at UMC.
That's crazy. That's crazy. So you said the LV. So if you guys want to donate, the LVAC's
got a like a GoFundMe or something for the dude, and it's ran by LVAC, so it's not
it's not nothing
no
crazy.
crap. They're gonna give the money to the right people, and they I guess Benny.
Is that the YouTube for?
What is this? The link?
Is that no? That's a YouTube, right? That's a YouTube video.
Oh, okay, yeah. I can't click on it from here, Beans. You have to send.
You got to send it to the messenger.
Yeah, send it to the messenger or to email. My phone. Send it to my phone
or email
email it to us.
Put the email in there.
But yeah, man, that's crazy. While she doing that, I'm gonna go ahead and give a shout out to the people who hit us with likes. Jeffrey Boyles, what's up, brother? Sincere, what up, man?
Sincere.
Benjamin Simpkins, what's cracking? Benny Jackson, thank you for the likes.
Beans, what up, bro?
And Shannon Butler, thank you for the likes. Now.
Shannon Butler.
But
so yeah, if you want to
send us anything, send it to that email
send it to
address
the email,
right there.
Yeah, thecurewiththehams@gmail.com. The Cure.
That way we can
with
go ahead and play
hams.
what you got popping. But yeah, that happened, man. It's a tragedy, and it's always the good ones that's doing what they're supposed to do, handling their business, and it's always some dumb mug that come by and do some stupid stuff, man.
That's really unfortunate. And this was a couple days ago, right?
This was 2 days ago, I believe. 2 days.
Dang.
Yeah, it's messed up. It's really messed up.
Yeah, our thoughts and prayers are with him and his mom. Well, his mom, because
for sure.
He don't need him right now. He all right.
Man, crazy world out there. I tell you, y'all guard your lives.
You know, it's funny because like I've gone a few years ago, and I used to go to the Hilton before it was the Westgate, right?
Mm-hmm.
I used to go to Old School by the pool.
Right.
We would go to Old School by the pool. After Old School by the pool, we would go inside of the Hilton where they would kind of be performing and having a good time. And you know how I roll. So security would always like check my purse.
Mm-hmm.
And when they check it, I would just look at them and laugh. And they would be like, I'm like, hey, if you need me,
right,
holla at me. I'm like, I'm not here for that. I'm on the other side. And they would let me roll. They'd be like, well, shit, if we need you, we gonna holler. You know what I'm saying? So, but that's not the first place that I would actually do that at. There was a couple places in LA that I would do that at. So it was like, people, people understood who was, on the other side of the coin. But the world that we live in now is crazy. You got to actually, you can't go to the gym.
Right.
You can't go to, you know how vulnerable you are at the gym trying to get your set done. Somebody walking in with an AR-15. That's crazy.
Oh yeah, this is the video of them showing it. I'm just going to show him walking in with this big gun. I'm not going to show the whole video. Hold on, let me get it over to the right spot.
Appreciate you, Beans, for sending it.
Yeah, thanks, Beans.
Appreciate you.
Yeah, but a lot of this I can't show, man. They treat YouTube people different than they treat the news. You know what I'm saying? So the news, they allowed to show everything
because it's the news.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But even with the news, they will cut it off too at a certain point. Yeah, it's crazy because we show certain stuff, then all of a sudden it'll have the graphic content over the front of your whatever you showed, and then the person has to click on it.
Right. Yeah, they censor our stuff. Sometimes they won't even allow us to play it.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna play what I can on this one.
All right.
And then
how old was the dude that went in there?
I don't know. Here's the footage though.
Identifying the gunman in Friday's gym shooting as a 34-year-old North Las Vegas man.
So I carry a gun.
North Las Vegas. He was from.
This is Colin Noor, guys. If you don't know,
asked myself.
Hold on, let me pause this. If you don't know who Colin Noor is, he's a gun enthusiast. He's a YouTube guy. If you want to check out any of his videos, you jump on YouTube and hit up Colin Noor.
Shout out to Colin Noor.
I love Colin Noor. He tell it like it is. He tell you the laws in the state that you in. This dude is a wonderful, informational, and safety gun teacher.
Okay.
Like he teaches you how to shoot. Like you can go to his college. He'll teach you how to shoot. Take you out to the range. It's like a week.
I should open up something like that.
Yeah, that's cool. I think if we can get a big enough place or something like that, that'd be dope.
I should open up something like that because a lot of people want to go shooting with me
and invite people like him.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. And do like celebrity gun guys like this. Bring them down. You know what I'm saying. Like it's a concert, but shooting.
Bean says he's a lawyer and a big gun advocate.
Yeah. Boy is dope. The boy is dope. I'm gonna play a little bit of his stuff so you guys can check it out. If you want to see the whole video,
shout out to Colin Noor.
You can hit up Colin Noor on his YouTube page, y'all.
Do I really need to carry a gun to the gym of all places? And this story is why the answer is always Yeah.
Yes.
Police here at Metro Police are trying to figure out why 34-year-old Daniel Ortega walked into this gym armed with a long gun in the first place. We have some new video to show you of him doing just that. This is from that LVAC in the Northwest Valley. This is Ortega coming in. He is armed with that rifle. About a minute later is when he shot a gym employee. He actually chased him through part of that building, fatally wounding him. We learned today that Ortega was a member of this gym, and sources telling me that he worked as a bellman at a property on the Strip. The assistant sheriff saying Ortega fired his weapon 24 times.
Wow.
It then jammed, and she says that likely saved lives. Police shot and killed Ortega as he ran out of the gym right through the front door about 6 minutes after this all started. 3 other people were injured as well.
You see, there are a lot of stories out there about shootings happening at gyms, just that people don't pay much attention to them. They've happened before. This isn't the first time. But this one right here is a brutal reminder that evil doesn't care where you are, how much you bench, or what playlist you're vibing to during your workout. Ironically, but not so ironically, most gyms are straight up gun-free zones. But here's the kicker. Most gyms in Texas throw up signs that look official but aren't legally enforceable. And as a concealed carrier in Texas, I can legally ignore those fake ass signs. Your miles may vary in whatever particular state you happen to be in. How many times do we have to say it before it actually sticks? Gun-free zones don't work. This guy, this absolute degenerate, walked right into that gym with a whole ass AR-15. Didn't care one bit whether it was a gun-free zone or not. Walked around, stalked a man, chased him, fired 24 rounds. 24 rounds. Nobody was in a position to stop him until the police arrived and he walked out the gym. And the only reason he didn't turn that gym into a mass casualty site was because his rifle jammed.
Fortunately, this gentleman had a malfunction in his weapon, which actually saved this from being a mass casualty event.
Which honestly doesn't surprise me. He probably bought some budget bin AR, loaded it with cheap ammo, and didn't clean it, didn't lube it. Hell, I wouldn't be shocked if that was his first time even shooting the damn thing, because most mass shooters are just that, lowest common denominator human beings. No training, no skill, just dysfunctional, warped individuals shrouded in cowardice. What does baffle me, though, is how he was just able to walk in with a rifle in his hand and wandered around for a bit and no one dropped him before he could get a shot off. Right. Actually, it doesn't surprise me, because I'm convinced that most people who do carry don't always carry to the gym. And you want to know why? Because that little voice in the back of your head, the one that says, bro, you're being paranoid, you don't need a gun in the gym, talks you out of doing it. Yeah. And yet, if just one person had been carrying that day, this dude could have been stopped before he ever pulled that trigger. People have to start thinking like mass shooters, unfortunately. Think about that for a second, because that's exactly how they think. Where can I go that people least expect me to be? Or where can I go where people least expect to be shot? A church, school, a grocery store, and now a gym. They want surprise. They want soft targets. They want a room full of people who aren't ready. That's the whole point. They're cowards. They want everything to be easy for them. That's why they're acting out now, because life was hard and I need to do something about it to show the world. And you're going to do what? Kill a bunch of innocent people? You're a lame. You're going to die a lame. You're going to be in jail as a lame. You're still a lame. You did all this shit and you're still a lame. Just don't even bother. Just go off somewhere into obscurity and just die alone. Because that's how I feel about these mass shooters. I have no remorse, no sympathy. I don't care what you've been through. When you decide to pick up a gun and start taking innocent people's lives because of shit you experienced, you're lame. You're just a weirdo. Because as far as I'm concerned, nobody deserves to be killed simply because you're on a what? Mental rampage? Because somebody made fun of you? Come on, grow up. Grow up. But reality is, at least for us, reality doesn't care about our expectations. It doesn't care that you felt safe. The world is full of maladjusted psychos who think the solution to their problems is to kill as many random people as they can before they get smoked themselves. And for what?
Right.
Mass shooting
For sure, guys.
Yeah, that's
a good video, Beans. Appreciate that video.
yeah,
man.
for sure. Shout out to Beans for sending that.
Yeah.
And that's all you got to do, y'all. If you want a video played, just email it to The Cure with the Hams, and we got you. We'll talk about it, especially on an open forum night. So you just send a video or say what you want to say, and we talking about it. But you know, it's crazy because I'll say this: I've carried at church before.
I always carry at church. That's where they most crazy at.
Exactly.
That's where all the
that's the
crazy
first
is
place
at.
you carry at is at church. I've carried at church before, and I remember sitting there one day because I accidentally carried. I had grabbed my purse, not thinking about it, and I was sitting there, and you know, and the plate came around, the collection plate,
The plate.
and I you know, I went in to reach for $1 or $2, and I was like, oh damn, I'm in the church all wrong.
You so stupid.
But then I was thinking like, well, am I though? Because remember the movie theater shooting, the redhead crazy one. After that, I was like, dude, I'm not going nowhere without it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't care. So for me, I knew that what he said about the CCW thing in Texas was interesting to me because I know as a CCW carrier, if a business displays no weapons allowed, you are not supposed to. You're legally not supposed to come in because they're telling you can't. But is there something different with the CCW now where it's like that doesn't apply to you?
I don't know. I'd have to look it up, but
because that's going to be interesting. Y'all look that up and
that
send
particular
it to us
the difference between the sign that Colin showed is that sign didn't have the city ordinance
or
on
the
it.
NRS code on it.
Right, and that's what makes it non-official.
Right.
You can't just throw up in a public building
right.
a sign without having a code that backs it from the state.
Because back in the day, you couldn't go into the banks like that because they were considered private, and they would tell you like, because when I used to be on duty sometimes, and I would have to go in to do something, I would still be in uniform, but I would take my weapon off.
Right.
But
I'm not a lawyer, so I mean, y'all consult your lawyer on that,
or just look up the codes, look up the statutes for it. The statutes to tell you what you can and cannot do. But I will say this: be safe than sorry, y'all.
Yeah, for sure.
Be more safe than sorry. I would rather be judged by 12 than carried by 6.
Yeah, for sure.
Because the world that we live in today, you can't go to the gym. You can't go to church.
You can't go to church.
You can't watch a movie with your family.
Right.
Like, and as much as we go to the movies, I'm not gonna lie, a lot of times I'm in there hella paranoid when I see people moving around too much, walking, ushers coming in. I'm looking like, what they doing? I'm looking for exits. Like, we shouldn't have to live like that, but unfortunately we do.
And why all movie theaters only got one exit inside the theater?
They got multiple.
No, it's only one. It's only one that's listed.
It's usually 2.
Yeah, but it's only one that's listed.
Okay.
And it's always either on the left side or the right side. Right.
Of the theater.
Why you don't have multiple exits?
Yeah. Yeah. Especially, because here's the thing. When you think about it this way, when the theaters were first built and created, nobody was thinking we need to have multiple exits so in case there's a shooting.
Yeah,
you know
but they need to go on and retrofit these people. Obviously, we got crazies.
So now you got to go back because they look at it as you have multiple exits because you have the way that you came in, and then you have those side doors that you can go out of. And there's usually a couple of them.
Yeah. Most theaters that I've seen nowadays, when we go in, you know me, I'm always looking for it.
They'll usually have them. Now they have them on each side of the screen, and then they'll have a door where staff kind of goes into or whatever, which also leads to an exit. So they have them, you know what I'm saying, but
supposed to be posting exits.
Yeah, that's crazy.
This next one is this has been a controversy all week or for the last 2 or 3 weeks.
What's up with this one?
This is the HUD secretary details a plan to dismantle welfare and tells you parts and pieces of what's going to happen with what's going on with Section 8 and all that stuff. So y'all check this out. Check this video out.
Welcome back. Congress hammering out key provisions of President Trump's big, beautiful bill, some of which could result in funding cuts to welfare programs. The president requesting certain cuts from the Housing and Urban Development Department, including more than $26 billion in state rental and grants and over $700 million in other assistance programs. Joining me now is Housing and Urban Development Secretary Scott Turner. Mr. Secretary, thank you so much for being here. What are you expecting in terms of these welfare cuts, and where do you expect the biggest cuts to be made?
Well, good morning, Maria. Thank you for having me. It's great to see you again. You know, the president my colleagues from the Senate and the House, this administration, will all take an inventory and getting our fiscal house in order. As you know, the previous 4 years before we came, there were no checks and no balances, no transparency, and a lack of good stewardship in America's budget and America's fiscal house. And so, along with my colleagues on the Hill, we here at HUD are taking inventory of every program so that we could be sufficient and effective in serving the American people. This is the first step when you talk about the skinny budget. It's the first step of many in this process. Our job here at HUD is to maximize the budget that we do have and make sure that we're serving America's people in the critical programs that we have.
So do you expect cuts to those welfare programs, and how significant will the cuts be? Where specifically are you expecting the cuts, sir?
You know, I think not so much cuts only, Maria, but also how we administer the programs. One thing at HUD, we're very mission minded, and we understand, you know, our call here to serve the American people. We'll see when the budget comes out what we have to work with. Our job is to maximize this budget and to make sure that we're serving America's most vulnerable people as it pertains to housing and homelessness and disaster recovery.
Mr. Secretary, you co-wrote a New York Times op-ed along with RFK Jr., Brooke Rollins, Dr. Oz. You suggested that there should be new qualifications to receive the welfare benefits. You write, able-bodied adults receiving benefits must work, participate in job training, or volunteer in their communities at least 20 hours a week. So tell us about that. Is that a way to significantly cut back? How can the administration enforce those policies to reshape the welfare system?
Well, Maria, I think it's a paradigm shift. You know as well as I do, work restores dignity. Yeah. Work brings pride. You know, and our welfare system deviated from what it was intended to be from its origin. It was intended for the most vulnerable, to the most needy in our country. But now we've created welfare as a lifestyle in our country. And, you know, America is not a welfare state. America is a country of opportunity and a country of entrepreneurship. And so this will help us to encourage able-bodied people in America that are receiving government subsidies to work. You know, there was a study that came out, almost 50% of households that are receiving HUD funds, almost 50%, not one person in that household is working. And that has to change. That culture, that paradigm has to change.
Hold on.
This is common sense.
Pause the video. So first of all, Chris is in the building. What up, Chris? You just go back and check it out, bro. It's open for him tonight. So we're talking about a little bit of everything. We had a couple of videos in the beginning that we talked about. First and foremost, everything that he said in the beginning of that was absolutely correct. The welfare program was created for if you were down for the moment and you needed some assistance to get back on your feet, to whatever that may be, whether it was food, childcare, bus pass, whatever, to get you back on your feet. But you have people who have created a legit lifestyle from it and is benefiting from taxpayers day in and day out. I remember being from California where women were having children because they would get more money from the government per child. So it's like every time you had a kid, that's $600 more or whatever that you're going to get a month for having that child, until they got smart and go, well, hold on. We just going to give you $600 no matter how many kids you got, but we'll give you a shit ton of food stamps. Then they started selling the food stamps.
Yeah.
But I mean, you know, I buy food stamps. So if there's anybody out there, the first is coming up real soon.
No comment.
Yeah. So anyway, you know, I agree with what he's saying. You know, I mean, you got people. So 50% of people who are getting welfare benefits are not working, and they're able-bodied.
Able bodies.
So what are we doing?
Some of them only work just enough so they can keep their services.
Right.
So they'll tell their boss, "Oh, I gotta go home."
Right.
Because
like you retired and you can only do so many hours a week because you retired, because you've been working your whole life.
Yeah.
Like, this is ridiculous. Cut their ass off.
And that's
cut their ass off.
So they supposed to be doing like a 40% reduction on these type of services. And then not only that, the responsibility of these services are going back to the states. The Fed is no longer going to take care of it. So they'll send money, the money that's allocated to it, to the states, and the states have to figure out how they're going to handle it. And if they don't have enough money, they just don't have enough money. That's pretty much
Listen, cut their ass off, man. Cut their ass off. Chris said this has
Compassion.
been happening since the late 80s, since the 80s or the early 80s. Yeah, Chris, exactly. And like I say, I was a recipient before, but it was never for more than, I don't know, a month or two. And it was more of, hey, I need some bus fare or something. Not bus fare, but I need some stamps so I can feed my kids. Other than that, I'm like, dude, I'm gonna go to work. Because really what they give you is not enough anyway. Unless
I don't know, man, because I didn't see some of these shopping carts.
Because the food is in abundance. They're gonna give you abundance of food.
I didn't see, man.
I remember
some
one
of these
time,
shopping carts, you need tanks to load these.
Listen, I remember one time they messed around and gave me like $600-700.
They're gonna be asking for their money back.
No, they can't ask for it back because I had no job at the time. I was in between work.
I'm just saying what I'm saying. Next,
to help people and invigorate and encourage people to work, able-bodied people to work. We're not talking about the elderly. We're not talking about those that are disabled. Able-bodied, able-minded people that are receiving HUD funding should go to work to restore dignity. Maria, you get up early in the morning and you work, you serve. And so we want to give other people and encourage others the same opportunity. And so This is a great step forward, working with our colleagues at Agriculture and also Health and Human Services and Dr. Oz to be kind of a catalyst to change the trajectory of the lives of people in our country.
I think it's a great point that you make, Secretary, because work is empowering. And, it also checks the box of a way to reassess these programs and perhaps save a little money where you're looking to actually align with colleagues in the House and Senate trying to come up with spending cuts for this big, beautiful bill to get the president's agenda passed. But you make the right point, and that is work is empowering. Why not, align with people so that they can see the benefits of that rather than just being so dependent on government? President Trump has said many times he wants private enterprise to rule the day in this economy.
That's exactly right. And Maria, you hit it on the head. I was visiting one of our public housing authorities, the residents that live there in a city in our country. And I was visiting with them about the deplorable conditions that they live in one of our public housing authorities, which we're taking inventory of all of those as well. And I heard the testimony of one young lady said, I have been living in this public housing authority in this project since 1973. That means she has been living there since birth or shortly thereafter. And so because of...
Wait a minute.
That's like Wait a minute. That's like 50 years, ain't it?
Wait a minute.
How many years is that?
Oh my God. Hold on. Let me do the math. Wait a minute. Because I want to make sure the math.
What time did she
1973.
Yeah, that's almost 50. That's a little over 50 years.
Listen, that is 52 years.
Yeah.
So he said pretty much since birth. This lady been living in public assistance, public housing since birth. So this is what I'm saying. Going back to what we said before, in certain communities, it's a conditional way of thinking. People have been conditioned. They grew up, their mama was in the projects on welfare, they granny was in the projects on welfare, they dad, they uncle, everybody they know, they auntie. So that's all they know. Nobody is saying, dude, go to work. And even though the program is saying you have to do X, Y, and Z to continue to get this stuff, they're not enforcing it.
Yeah, man.
Just like Chris was saying, they're not enforcing it.
They got to do something.
Her mother, probably her grandmother, raised her there. She's living there. Now she's raising her children there. And so that's the paradigm that we want to change. My parents, neither one of them went to college, but they both instilled in me a tremendous work ethic, and it has made our family stronger. And that's what we want here, not just at HUD, but from the administration, our country overall, is to have young people to see those coming before them, working hard, providing for them families. Because if young people are incentivized to work, that will change our culture. It'll change our workforce. It'll increase earnings, increase family stability. And so that's what we're after here at HUD. That's what the president and our administration is after. And Maria, I believe.
Chris says, Treasure and Sean are spouting racist drive. You are spouting racist drive. I'm going to hold you to the same standard I've been held to my entire life to require work and drug screening for taxpayer public assistance is racist. No, for real, Chris. Like, And
they got to do something about it. They got to do something about
listen,
that.
I've been saying, I started applauding when they said that they were going to start drug testing recipients. And then Chris is right. Somebody was like, well, that's unconstitutional. That's against our civil rights.
Well, then they shouldn't operate at all.
Then take it away.
Yeah,
absolutely.
If you're not gonna help, it's someone else's situation, and or by volunteering your time or doing drug tests and all the rest of that stuff, then
if you
go
want to
find
up and
someone
up,
else.
if you first of all, if you receiving welfare, what the fuck you doing buying drugs? That is not a necessity.
Right.
It is not
selling your stamps so you can go get
so you go get you right. Like, what is we talking about here? So
what's up, Eddie Barker? What's up, man?
What up, Eddie, in the building? So it's like, what are we talking about here? So I mean, let's just be honest. We get upset because it's like, oh, well, you're picking on people. No, ain't nobody picking on nobody. There's money out there being wasted that is being allocated.
That's people paying their taxes. Whoever pay their taxes is paying for people to do that for 50-something years.
52 years.
52 years.
Since 1973. You've lived in
they need to put a year or a 2-year cap on that thing and make them
a long time.
Make them do some type of public service like cleaning up federal buildings or something.
As a Teamster in the apprenticeship, you are required to do community service.
Right.
Why are we not? And that's because they're like, listen, we are going to change your life with the amount of money that you're going to make, with the benefits that you're going to get, with the pension plan that we have in place for you. Our collective bargaining agreement is for your Teamster brothers and sisters. So this is your way of saying thank you and giving back to your community, because we want honorable people that are willing to do so and do such. So if a job is doing that, what are we talking about? Why is government assistance not?
That's crazy. Hey, this next video is
Jordan said, nah, I'm a hater. Take your ass to work. Yes, Jordan. Yes.
This next video is happening right now as we speak. This is breaking news.
Uh-oh. What we got?
We're going to go ahead and play this beam footage for y'all.
Oh.
And,
We're staying on top of that big breaking news in downtown D.C. A man and woman are dead after a shooting near the FBI field office in Capitol Jewish Museum near Judiciary Square. I want to get back to our Alexis Wainwright for an update as we stand by for that press conference with D.C. Police. Alexis, what more are you learning? I know we just saw a tweet from Attorney General Pam Bondi saying she is there on scene, along with the new interim U.S. Attorney for D.C., Janine Pirro, as well.
Yeah, we know a lot of officials now arriving here to the scene as we continue to learn more about what happened. Now, we just saw a tweet on Twitter from the Israeli ambassador who has said that there was an event going on at the Jewish Museum tonight when this shooting happened, right outside of that building. Now, that's again where we've been seeing a lot of the activity going on as crews are still here combing through evidence and trying to investigate and figure out what exactly led up to this shooting. Now, I'm going to refer to my phone and read some of his tweet. He says, quote, harming the Jewish community is crossing a red line. We are confident that the U.S. authorities will take a strong action against those responsible for this criminal act. And he says that Israel will continue to act to protect its citizens and representatives everywhere in the world. Now, he's also mentioned that at least 2 other employees with the Israeli embassy were also injured in this incident. So again, now we're hearing at least 4 people involved in this case right now, but we know that 1 man and 1 woman were killed in this incident. So a lot of moving details. This is still developing. So we'll, of course, update you as we learn more, but a lot of movement here. We know that the mayor was just here on scene, but she has now moved to MPD headquarters because that's where we're going to have a press conference and learn the latest details of this case. But again, right now we know that that shooting happened right outside of the Jewish Capitol Museum. And that's where we've been seeing a lot of the activity as crews try to still figure out what exactly happened here. Lorenzo.
That's crazy. Cammy in the building. What up, sis?
That press conference involving D.C. Police and D.C.'s Mayor Muriel Bowser as well. We'll check back again with you shortly, Alexis.
What if you can create your own website?
That's crazy, y'all. Hopefully, they can figure out who did that and get them put underneath the jail for, messing up people's stuff.
I mean, the deranged mind of people. I was just telling my one of my coworkers today that the world we live in is so sad today. It gets worse and worse and worse. Just from the older I get, the more saddened I am about how people treat people, about how the world looks at people. Like, it's crazy. Chris says, here's what I think is funny. They pushed this free money so far that even minorities are finally bitching about this. They gave too much to all the illegals, and this is the fallout. Americans are pissed. It's about time. Yeah, no, seriously, dude. It is about time. Like, they've been talking about it for years, but they wasn't acting on it. And now they're like, well, we're going to start doing X, Y, and Z. That should have been a requirement from day one. Shooting at Jews in the US, this is something I never understood. I think it's more of an East Coast thing, even though I know it's happened in SoCal. It's just weird to me. Jews, in my view, are just typical white folks. I don't know. I don't view them as different. There again, religion is something I don't really entertain. Yeah, and so like even with that, Chris, like when we talk about there was a movie, I forget the name of it, but it talked about the people that were from like Afghanistan and whatnot trying to go to college, and stuff was happening at the college where they were trying to harm these individuals who were just simply trying to get an education. Like you can't control where you were born. You can't control the skin color that you were born in. You can't control the background you were born in. And people have the misconception that because you were from Israel, you are a Taliban or you are some sort of terrorist. And I think that's just downright ignorant. You know what I'm saying? My daughter had to deal with people behind her name, and she had to educate people on her name, explaining to them that first and foremost, my name is the goddess of beauty, the goddess of something special, important. These people you gave this acronym to, and the acronym is actually different. So it's, again, the world we live in is getting sadder and sadder by the second.
Yeah, hopefully we step our game up and get right. But
we can't go to the gym, we can't go to church, we can't go to the movie theater, we can't go to the grocery store, we can't even go to the damn museum to see the artifacts and the history of people to discover and learn and educate yourself without it being an issue. You can't go to school. I mean, this is crazy, man.
This is my last video of the night, y'all. Y'all enjoy.
This is a good one.
No, it's actually some bullshit, but I just want to, let you know that, we still on top of things over here.
Chris says Muslims are not nationalists. Yeah, Muslim was the word I was looking for, actually, Chris. Was with Trump.
We begin with right now a case before the U.S. Supreme Court that has huge implications for President Trump's power and that of presidents to come. The justices are hearing arguments at the moment in a lawsuit challenging Trump's executive order to end birthright citizenship. That order applies to children who were born in the United States to illegal immigrant parents. The larger issue at hand is whether federal judges have unrestrained power to issue nationwide blocks on presidential actions, something that is happening against President Trump right now. I'm Harris Faulkner. You are in the Faulkner Focus. The president posted ahead of the arguments today. Big case today in the Supreme Court. Birthright citizenship was not meant for people taking vacations to become permanent citizens of the United States of America and bringing their families with them, all the time laughing at the quote unquote suckers that we are. Here are some of those arguments from just moments ago.
And you are claiming that not just the Supreme Court, that both the Supreme Court and no lower court can stop an executive from universally from violating those holdings by this court.
We are not claiming that because we're conceding that there could be an inappropriate case.
Only a class, only
Can
by
I hear
a class.
Can I hear the rest of his answer?
Well, testy there. The court's decision could decide the fate of many of the president's executive orders and actions now. Federal judges have hit the president's agenda with 17 nationwide injunctions in fewer than 5 months. That's far more than any other recent presidents at this point. Former federal prosecutor Trey Gowdy.
You know what's funny to me? Why every time and this is what I'll be saying about the media, why every time they show Trump where he's trying to do whatever he's trying to do. They always show a picture of him with the meanest mug ever.
He ain't a great looking dude, but you know what I'm saying?
But they got photos of this dude smiling. You know what I'm saying? They got small photos of him. Like, what about his presidential photo? They always show a shitty photo of him, so you can be like, look at this motherfucker.
Yeah, I think birthright citizenship should be questioned. The question that's really being posed is that the baby's not here yet, and the person who crossed the border is illegal, and then they have the baby, and birthright citizenship makes the baby a citizen of the United States, which they shouldn't be.
Right.
Birthright citizenship wasn't for immigrants.
Right.
It was for people who were coming out of slavery.
Right.
So that's
which is what Chris was saying.
Is that what he was saying?
Yeah. So Chris says birthright citizenship is a question that needed to be challenged for a very long time. Again, this is another issue that others have basically been riding on the backs of former slaves.
Yeah, they've been riding on the backs for a long time. It's not just them. It's affirmative action. It's Title IX. It's DEI. It's Title IX. It's everything that was for the benefit of the people who were coming out of slavery.
Right.
Everyone else has benefited for it more
than the people that it was actually for.
That it was intended for.
That it was intended for.
Yeah, so let's get rid of it all. That way nobody can ride nobody can ride the back of nobody anymore.
And that's the thing. Like when you hear it, the people here, they're getting rid of Section 8. They're getting rid of this. No, that's not what's happening. That's not what's happening.
They're just making it harder.
They're getting rid of the fact that you can come in, keep having children, keep getting paid to have children, and sit on your ass and be a career welfare recipient off of the backs of people who've worked hard and paid taxes for somebody to help somebody that's in need for a short period of time. That's what they're getting rid of. And so the sad part is that the people that's complaining about it, mostly us black folk out there that's talking shit about it, don't even realize that the number one recipients ain't even black.
Right, because they're no longer needed. It's already been done.
Right.
Should have been closed out when it was done.
Chris says, like Ice Cube says, I'm not talking about minorities. I'm talking about descendants of slaves. That part, Chris. Chris says all affirmative actions, all that shit was intended to help former slaves and their descendants. Yes, and that's the thing. So like, because that stuff had to be written into law because black people didn't have rights. Black people couldn't vote. They couldn't do this. They couldn't do that. They wasn't even considered men. We're still on the books considered 3/5 of a man. We're not considered human.
There's no, as I know of, in the United States, there's no slaves walking the earth unless you've been locked up.
We all slaves if we going to go clock in somewhere.
Well, no,
I know what you're saying.
Yeah, let's talk about what the subject is, not something else. The subject is that these provisions was given to people who were slaves.
Right.
Only people that are slaves now are people who actually go to prison, and it's written in the Constitution that they will be involuntary servitude if they went to prison. That's the only people who are considered, who I consider a slave under the Constitution that we live under today. Now that everybody's been freed and moved on and assimilated into whatever's, it was supposed to be, let's go ahead and close up shop.
Right.
And stop letting everybody else use what was intended for what we fought for.
Right.
And just go ahead and close up shop.
And I agree. And the people that don't agree are the people, in my opinion, and I could be wrong. Maybe it's because they don't understand what's happening. But in my opinion, these are people who are on the receiving end of the fuckery.
Right.
They're the ones that's like, no, don't get rid of it, because they know that they now gonna get kicked out of this big old 6-bedroom house that they paying $2 for a month, with all these kids and in these nice neighborhoods and whatever that may be. I mean, because let's think about it. California, for instance, I go with California because it's my hometown and I know what has happened and transpired there. But in California, even living in LA, you had a lot of people who would move out to Palmdale, Lancaster, Victorville. These were areas that were more upscale, right?
Right.
And they would get their Section 8, move out of the hood to those areas. Now, first and foremost, I'm not knocking you for trying to put your family in a better neighborhood and get them out the hood. The problem is the hood niggas was doing it. The people who was causing the grief and turmoil were the ones that was moving into these nicer areas. And now the Palmdales and the Lancasters and the Victorvilles are all screwed up now.
Look at those places. They're tore up now.
They tore up now.
So when I was talking about slavery, I was talking about the 13th Amendment. So the 13th Amendment of the Constitution was ratified in 1865. It abolished slavery and involuntary servitude in the United States. I'm not talking about anywhere else. I'm talking about in the United States.
Talking about our own backyard, y'all.
Except as a punishment for a crime. So that's where slavery still exists. So if you go to prison,
you a slave.
You still considered a slave.
Yeah, if you making license plates for 2 cents, you know what I mean? Thanks, we appreciate y'all.
Said this amendment formally ended slavery throughout the country, though it had some limitations, particularly in the South, and then started to get in prohibition, South and all that stuff. South took some time to assimilate to what they were supposed to be doing. They kind of fought. But there's other parts in the world where people are actually going through slavery and they're having issues and stuff. But what I'm talking about is what's happening here at
in the
home.
United States.
I'm not talking about, whatever country is having their issues.
Chris says that was on purpose to clean up the inner city. They moved the gangs out to the desert. He said Antelope Valley and also San Bernardino. Bro, listen. When I took my daughter to California to make her move to transition for her job, right? San Bernardino County isn't very far from her job. So I was like, okay, this isn't far, but I want you to see the difference in the apartments and what it looks like in San Bernardino versus what it would look like in Riverside, versus what it looked like in Paris, versus what it looked like in Moreno Valley, places like that. So we went to San Bernardino. And yes, she found an apartment in San Bernardino that she did like. It was a 2-bedroom apartment. She could afford it. But I told her, I says, I want you to take a good look around.
Mm-hmm.
Take a good look. You see where you at. The gate don't work.
Do this.
Yeah, look on both sides of the street.
Do this.
I said, the gate don't work.
Do these.
When you walk in, it's dirty, it's filthy, it smells bad, it's disgusting looking. The apartment was nice inside. It was a great apartment. I said, when you come outside, the grass wasn't even green. It was brown. There was no grass.
Right.
There was cracks. There was bums. There was I says, take a look at where you at. Then we went a little bit deeper. We went into Riverside. She got a chance to see. She's like, oh. I said, now you understand what I'm trying to get you to understand.
He said, oh, wait, are we sounding racist?
Yeah.
maybe a little bit.
Yeah, Chris.
Maybe.
So then I said, now I want you to go a little bit deeper. So we went to Riverside, saw some better stuff. Then we get to Moreno Valley, and she's like, yeah, no. I said, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. I wanted you to see why.
And in those places you went to, they were like food deserts. Like you had to travel at least 10, 15, 20 minutes to get to a grocery store in those places.
No, not necessarily, but not necessarily because you got a carniceria on the corner. You know what I mean? Because a lot of these places are in the hoods,
right,
and you have a lot of mom and pop shops where you can go and actually grocery shop. It might not be a Superior or a Food for Less or a Ralph's or a Bonds or whatever,
right,
but you can still go and grocery shop at the local mom and pop shop. You know what I'm saying? Where they still got butchers cutting meat and things like that. But the neighborhood, you got crackheads. Like we went to one place to look at it, and we were walking to the apartment, and the lady was sitting down. I don't know. She was making something, but I guess she was running a business out of her apartment, but it was shit everywhere. It was toys and bikes right outside her door. And she was sitting there making something. I forget what it was. And I just kind of was like, and we're stepping over stuff, and I'm going, nah, this ain't it.
Let me give you the dictionary definition for food
I'm not
desert.
supposed to know this. Chris said you aren't supposed to know this.
The definition of a food desert is an urban area in which it is difficult to buy affordable or good quality fresh food.
So yes, then you are correct.
I know I was correct.
You are correct.
Yes.
I was thinking something totally different.
Yeah.
So yes, you are correct, because here's another thing I noticed too when I was buying stamps. sometimes
You got to stop telling.
this was long time.
Yeah.
Long time ago. But when engaging those activities, there was one person that I was getting them from, and the way she wanted to work it out was like meet her at the store in her neighborhood.
Mhm.
When I would go meet her at the store in her neighborhood, it was very apparent to me.
You needed a tank, a task force, and
Not even that.
and
Not even that. It was very apparent to me that I could not shop.
right, because the food wasn't that
The
great.
food wasn't great.
Right.
And I don't listen. I'm not putting anything in my body because it's on sale.
It was a food desert.
It was a food desert.
Yeah.
They were like some communities in some neighborhoods, they deliberately ship the worst produce to. I'm a big produce head. I'm a big fruit person. I buy a lot of fruit and produce and vegetables and things of that sort. So I need it to be fresh. I need it to be right. So unfortunately, I can't go on, off of Nellis somewhere to the grocery store because they're not putting quality items in that grocery store. And that was one of the things that shout out to Stretch Sanders, that he was advocating for the community, going inside of these grocery stores in the community, seeing that you pick up something off the shelf and it's expired by a week. And
Right.
he's like, how are you selling this to people? You selling
Right.
this to my people in this community. Like, it's already bad enough they got to live here, but now you're not giving them quality food.
Right.
You know what I mean? So you're trying to, it's like kicking a man when they're down. You know what I mean? Because the people already got to live in the hood, and then you turn around and sell them bullshit. That's not right, man. It's just not right. And even now, a lot of times when I'm looking for something specific, I will deliberately go to Summerlin or Centennial Hills to a grocery store.
It depends on what I want. Like if I
yeah.
want good vegetables, I'm gonna go to a certain area. If I want
Yep.
good fruit,
I'm gonna go
I'm
to
gonna
a
go to
certain
certain
area.
areas.
Yep.
If I want good pastries or something, I'll go to a certain area.
Yes.
I don't get all my stuff from one
the same store. No,
Yeah,
you
because
can't.
I know it's like
You can't.
yeah, it's not if you want top notch, stuff. Read what Chris was saying, man.
Chris says, I love you too, but I'm going to throw this shit back at you. It proves that noticing bullshit and objecting bullshit and rejecting bullshit is not racist. No,
Right.
Chris, absolutely.
It's not racist.
But
it's
he's
a-
saying people try to make it that because we don't agree.
Oh, because we say,
because,
okay.
because they try to make it racist because we say, hey, yeah, you should drug test somebody who's a recipient.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, why I gotta get drug tested to get a job?
Right.
You cutting hair off of me and shit. Like,
Right.
why do this person get to get free money and keep having kids and get money and
Show
not
me
do
your
it?
armpits so I
Right.
can get some of your hair.
You try to go in there bald headed, they gonna take your pubes. They're
Right.
like, we taking something. Cammy say, I didn't know that. Yes,
What she
sis.
talking about? Food
About the
deserts?
food
Oh,
desert.
yeah,
Yes.
food desert.
So listen, the grocery store off of Nellis and Lamb and all of that is way different than the one up off of Aliante.
And it's the same chain. That's crazy. The same chain.
It's the same chain. So it's gonna be the same. What is it? Smith's.
Right.
But they not gonna have big, beautiful, red, delicious apples that they might have up on Aliante, or they may have up in Summerlin, or they may have in Centennial Hills or Anthem or Seven Hills or Henderson.
And the produce gonna be looking like somebody dropped the elbow on it.
For sure. For sure. I've seen it with my own eyes. Like I say, when I was engaging in purchasing items from people, they would sometimes say, well, can you meet me at the grocery store over here on such and such? And I'm like, thinking nothing of it. I'm like, yeah. And then I get in there and I realize I can't shop in this store. This shit is bull. It's trash. I'm looking at stuff that you can simply tell, even when I was eating meat, the quality of the meat was horrendous. But when you go on the other side and you go and walk over and go, for instance, case in point, we lived near the Albertsons off of Decatur and Craig. The Albertsons off of Decatur and Craig has very good meat selection.
Very good meat over there.
Very good meat. We lived right down the street from there. The seafood, the meat, you go up and you say, I need a pound of this. It's fresh. You can smell the sea off of the seafood.
And even the clerk will tell you when it came to the store.
Right. And so it was very fresh. But now if you go, a little further east.
Right.
This
you might get
shit,
something different. It might look different, might smell
man,
different.
it didn't even smell right. It
Right.
smelled like it was going bad.
Or you cook it and
Or-
it don't cook right.
It don't like
Yeah.
I'm telling you. So yes, there are neighborhoods that they are deliberately sending the worst of the worst foods to, and it's unfortunate. And I
That's
and I feel
that's
for
what we
people,
call food deserts.
and that's what a
and
food
it's
desert
and it's
is.
because the population over there.
She said that's why the food looks weird on the east side in
Yeah,
certain
pretty
stores.
much. Yeah.
Yes,
And
because
that-
they're sending them trash.
And that's because the population can't afford the higher price, so
Right.
they're buying lesser stuff of low quality,
Yep.
so they could still
So they
gain
can
a profit
yeah.
off of what they're selling.
So and then they're giving it to people in these communities, knowing, which is crazy because these people have food stamps. So
Right.
you would think no matter what you're gonna get,
but they're not driving over to the area.
because they can't they don't have a car.
Right.
And more than
So
likely,
most of them don't.
more
Yeah.
than likely they don't have a vehicle to even go that far. And then when you feel, and then you got a family of 4 or 5 people, which means you're doing some serious grocery shopping.
Yeah, carts.
So
I've seen the
so
carts.
yeah. So
Yeah.
that means if you live down the street and you got to walk, you probably pushing several carts, and you got the family helping. You can't get on the bus with all of that.
Yeah, that's a
You
lot.
can't you can't Uber that. You can't afford to.
Yeah, that's a lot.
So, you know.
Well, any questions for us, y'all, before
Yeah,
we get
man,
up
we
out of
finna
here?
get on up outta here.
Let me hit everybody with the likes. Tico Leslie, thank you for the like.
Tico!
Kemi Flowers, Benny Jackson,
Yeah, yeah.
Shannon Butler,
Yeah.
and Jeffrey Boyles.
Yeah, Jeff.
Sincere Wells and Benjamin Simpkins.
Listen, y'all, this is the Ham Show every Wednesday night at 8 p.m. If y'all ain't told a friend and shared our podcast with your friends, shame on you. Help the page grow, help us be successful. The more and faster we grow, the better quality content we can bring you. We want to get on scene and start interviewing people. We want to have people live in the studio. There's a lot of things that we look forward to doing. I will, sis, I got you. And
oh, don't forget about Chris. Chris said he put us with a like.
Chris, we got you. Always, Chris. Hopefully you over there healing up real well, bro. I hope everything is good with you. And you're never late, Chris. You always on time.
Hopefully you're healing up over there, Chris. And we love you too, bro. Have a good evening. Cammy, we love you.
Listen, y'all.
We love all y'all that chimed in tonight, and tell a friend, tell
a
homies.
friend, man.
Hey, we're looking to do a Discord of people coming on and actually pick a
panel.
subject, do a full panel, and talk about that particular subject. If you're interested, go ahead and hit us up on the email.
I'm putting it in the chat once again.
Yeah, my old lady is putting it in right now.
Do not call me an old lady. I do not like that terminology whatsoever.
She putting it in right now, and y'all hit us up over there and let us know that we're doing it.
Yeah. So the PSA to you guys tonight is this: be safe at all costs. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy out there in this world. Be diligent of your surroundings. Protect yourself. You know, keep your head on a swivel. This world is crazy. It's a lot of stuff going on. And don't listen to just what everybody says. Even us, we literally go and do research and homework on the things that we talk about so that we don't sound crazy up here talking to y'all. So a lot of times what you're getting from us is some real raw live, like you can go research and look it up stuff. We ask that you do the same thing. Because the world that we're living in now, there's a lot of movement being done in our government, in our locals, where people are not understanding what's happening. And so if you go and really just understand and research and look things up for yourself, you'll realize that a lot of this stuff is going to change your life in either some sort of drastic way or another. So just be prepared and be cautious of it. But on a real note, y'all, keep your head on the swivel and be safe, because it's getting crazy where you can't even go to the gym. You know what I'm saying? You can't eat right. You can't go to the gym. You got Uber drivers pulling up on people with their guns, and it's crazy. Yes. And they wonder why.
It's getting crazy out there.
You know, we out here twitching.
Y'all be careful.
I am Treasure Cheltenham. I am one of the Hams.
I'm Sean Cheltenham, and I'm one of the Hams.
And this is the Ham Show every Wednesday at 8 p.m. on Hump Day. Tell a friend.
Yeah, this is the Ham Show, y'all. Y'all chime in every Wednesday night. We'll see y'all next week.
What are we talking about next week?
We don't know. We'll work it out. We'll work it out. It's been a hectic couple.
Y'all hit us up, thecurewiththehams@gmail.com, and we will definitely consider whatever you sending us. Because like I say, we want to be involved with the community. So y'all hit us up and let us know what y'all talking about. If you don't have any more questions, we'll give y'all a couple seconds to, if you get your questions out, we about to get out of here because your girl went to EDC this weekend and I'm still tired. But I will say this real quick. One of the things that I was telling my husband that I enjoyed about EDC is that the atmosphere and the vibe is so different. It's just such a loving atmosphere. People are just loving on you no matter what you look like, your sexual orientation, your whatever creed. They are legitimately loving on you just for you being you. And, what is that?
I'm printing something.
You got to tell me when you print because I'm like, we supposed to be the only ones here. Thanks, sis. I was just trying to be a part of the whole EDC vibe. But I'm going next year. Tickets are on sale this Friday. I'm going to purchase my tickets for EDC next year because it's definitely a vibe. But anyway, we gonna get up out of here. This is the Ham Show. I am Treasure Cheltenham. That's Sean Cheltenham. We are the Hams 1 and 2. We love y'all. Thank y'all for rocking with us. Thank y'all for supporting us. Be sure to like, subscribe, tell a friend, go to the YouTube page and like us at the Hams 1 and 2. And if you didn't get to see the whole show, go back and watch it. Share it with a friend, tell a friend. We love y'all. We are out of here. We see y'all next week.
Have a good evening, y'all. Peace out.
Yeah.
Thank you.